What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How was your week?
How is your life?
Going.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, this will be coming, the day after or something
No,
like
this
that?
is on Valentine's Day.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You guys like my fancy cup? Mm-hmm. My mother-in-law.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, got it for me from my birthday. It's actually hand-painted.
For your birthday?
Mm-hmm, from my birthday, and the peach wine that is inside is really good.
Is it?
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. You picked a good one. No.
Yeah. So it is our Valentine's episode. And there's no better time to do it than right now.
You scare me. You better not have no box out here. You got any boxes out here? Last time you were pulling out dildos, I think.
What the fuck? Really? That was you, mother. No,
I thought, you had like some surprise gifts on the side last time. Or was that for my birthday?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember. Anyway, but I did do. So we had a very big surprise for today. Mm-hmm. And we still have a very big surprise for today. Something that you had no idea about. And I'm going to give you your Valentine's gift here on the podcast. So
is it
there was I've recorded music in the past, right?
Yes.
And there was a song that I was listening to that I liked and I thought you would like. And it's kind of not exactly the same, but it's kind of goes with what we're doing with the podcast. Mm. And with that, we'll get right into it.
You're gonna make me cry, you effer. Where's my tissue? No.
Been flying solo for so long. Nobody's singing the harmonies. Up there just me and my shadow. No bass, no guitar, no tambourine. And I found you like a melody. You were singing in the same key as me. We had them dancing in the streets. I don't wanna be a one-man band. I don't wanna be a rolling stone alone, putting miles on a rundown van. Baby, we could take our own show on the road. I'll lay down the beat, you carry the tune. We'll get tattoos and we'll trash hotel rooms. Baby, take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be a one-man band. No. I wanna run down your wild dreams, and I wanna chase every high with you. Count every rip in these old jeans. We'll never learn how to sing the blues. If I'm gonna be famous, girl, I wanna be famous with you.
We gotta watch the podcast. Watch it. Sonja's crying.
I don't wanna be a rolling stone alone, putting miles on a rundown van. Baby, we could take our own show on the road. I'll lay down the beat, you carry the tune. We'll get tattoos and we'll trash hotel rooms. Baby, take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be a one-man band.
I can see us doing that.
Right?
Goes cold and the curtains come down. The chairs are all stacked and there's no one around, and nobody's paying. We'll still be playing. I don't wanna be a one-man band. I don't wanna be a rolling stone alone, putting miles on a rundown van. Baby, we could take our own show on the road. I'll lay down the beat, you carry the tune. We'll get tattoos and we'll trash hotels.
We still got to get those tattoos.
Baby,
I know.
I don't wanna
we
be
talked about it.
Oh, man.
Aww.
I don't want to be a one-man band.
There it is.
Aww. I love you, babe. You're so sweet.
Love you, babe.
Thanks for making me cry.
So
how did you do that? When did you do that?
So actually, I almost got busted one time trying to fucking record this thing. There was one time where everybody was out of the house, and I think you came home, like, because the thing is, I have these headphones on, and I'm listening to the music and the singing and all that shit, so I don't hear. Usually, I can hear when the garage door is opening.
Right.
The garage door had already opened, and I was like in the middle of some shit, and then all of a sudden the door flies open. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "I'm busted," but you didn't notice. But you don't remember? It was like a month ago.
I do remember, but I asked you, and you said you were testing.
Yeah,
something.
I was testing something. So
I do. Now that you mentioned it, I do remember, and I'm like, was he singing? Like because I heard you, but I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And it was country. So you guys, okay, so
now I've officially started my country career.
Right? So it's just amazing to see like our growth and where we are today, and knowing like we are really just getting started. But I remember back in the day, like I enjoyed country music, right?
And I was like, man, turn that shit off.
At a certain, I don't know, I think it was like 40 things started to change, but I started listening to country, and I would get pissed because I would be listening to a good song, and Miguel would start, what?
I would just do like
fun.
Like the stereotypical country. Yeah.
Yeah. Sound, right? And
ding, 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 ding. Shit
and
like
I'll
that.
look at him like, shut up. I'm trying to enjoy this song. And then to hear you actually singing a country song for me is just, it's super, super cool. And
how about fucking singing, period?
Yeah, and
I don't fucking sing.
Right. And you know, Joey is the same way.
Yeah.
Like Joey is so much like you. He is the same way. And when it comes to dancing too, like you'll dance, but it's not, you'll dance, but it's not something like you're like, let's go dancing. That's me.
No, I can dance, and I do dance when it's time to dance.
Right. And Audrey and I just dance around the house.
I don't go looking for dances.
Right.
Yeah.
And Joey, he's the same way. Like he'll mess around and dance, and he'll dance with me when I'll ask him, hey baby, yeah, come dance with me. But it's a slow song, and I'll grab him and he'll dance with me.
That's cool.
But no, it's so cool just to, sit here and just, it made me look back at just everything and how much we've changed and how much we've grown.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize 13 years, like we've been together 13 years, but we've been married for 12.
Yeah.
And we've witnessed each other's growth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
it's been cool. I've been driving you're welcome, babe. I've been driving the kids nuts with that song.
Have you?
Yeah.
So they know?
No, oh, yeah. Because they heard it. They've heard it. Because I have to get opinions. So some people that are listening have heard the song before. Most of you, I would imagine, like 99% of you haven't heard the song. But there's a few people that I sent it to just to kind of get their opinions. But yeah, I've been playing it but it's one of those things, like, I remember this from making music before, where after you've worked on a song for so long, you've done maybe 20. I mean, because it takes, when you don't do it all the time, maybe if you're a rapper or a singer and you do it all the time, you can do it in one shot and it's over. But when you have to do it over and, oh, that didn't sound right. Let me start it again.
Right.
Oh, I fucked that up. Let me start this again. That didn't come out the way I liked it.
Yeah.
Let me do it again. This one sounds okay, but I think I can do better. Let me do it again. And you do it like fucking 30 times. And by the time you're done, you're like, I don't even know if I like this anymore. You know what I mean? Because you've heard it so many times.
Right.
So, yeah, with the kids, and I had to send it back
Audrey,
out. And then people are like, oh, yeah, it sounds good. And they liked it. So,
yeah. And Audrey's heard it all the way through. And
Audrey,
she's kept
Audrey
it from me. Wow.
Yeah. I told them, I was like, don't say anything.
Aw, that's so cute. Well, when they, are you going to play it for all of us? Like,
yeah, we'll play it. Now that you've heard it, we can play it.
Yes. See, I'm so spoiled because my birthday is in February. So my birthday is February 7th. Then a week later, we have Valentine's Day. So it's like, I've always been spoiled in February. I'm always spoiled.
Yeah. And last podcast for your birthday, we had Bill on, which was awesome.
Yes. We
had an awesome podcast with Bill. Make sure you guys go check that out, episode 105 with Bill.
There's some people that come into your life, and you guys, if you listen to the podcast, you've heard me say this. They come for reasons, lessons, seasons, right? Like you've heard me say that. And Bill is one of those gentlemen that when my cup is empty, if it's empty or running low, he is someone that can fill that cup up.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's funny because when we were sitting here, like, you know, I had some things going on with my back and, you know, I was just off. And talking to him and sitting next to him, like getting the energy and his just motivation and everything that this man does. Like he's so willing to help in any way he possibly can.
Yeah.
And there's not too many people. I mean, there are people that do that, you know?
Yeah.
But he is one of those individuals for us.
Yeah.
You know, like we just appreciate him so much. And if you guys haven't taken a listen to the podcast, I definitely would.
Yeah. We have a few of those people in our corner. I mean,
it's
our parents, our friend Eric Vogt. I mean, he's supported us since day one.
From the beginning.
You know, my brothers, they've supported us, your mom, my mom, you know, so for all of you that have supported us, we truly, from the bottom of our hearts, we definitely appreciate it.
And it's cool because they get to witness our growth as well. Like our listeners who have been listening to us for 2 years have witnessed our growth, many growths, right? Yeah. Mentally, physically.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, Sonja's looking a little thick.
She's looking a little thick.
And then they're like, well, hey, she's looking like she's losing some weight now.
She's got it in the right places.
And I've been doing so good with keto and so, you know,
we've done good for like 2 weeks. So now we got to celebrate a handful of times.
Well, yeah, but even though, like, so my birthday, you know, came up and, you know, my
February
niece,
7th.
Yes. And then my niece bought me a cake and, you know, they had some stuff. I didn't want to be rude and not eat the cake. I had at least try the cake. So I had a piece, not that big of a piece, but when Monday comes, you know, like we're celebrating some successes that we've had, some things that we'll share with you guys later on.
Some things you guys will see.
Yes, but we did finish our resource list, you guys. That's huge.
Thank you for mentioning that. Hell yeah.
Yes.
So make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. The resource list is available now. So as soon as you go to our website, you'll see it there. And we're super excited about the resource list. There's a lot of great information, great videos that have helped us, you know, over the years.
And that's why we're excited about it, because this platform, you know, even though we are your host, this platform is for you guys. It's a platform for us to share our challenges, our obstacles, our wins with you guys. And
because obviously we're a shit show. And if you guys are a shit show, you guys, you know, us and you together can get out of this shit show together.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you have to want it. So this resource list is a list of great information that has helped us get through our marriage when we're having difficulties, get through parenting, because God knows that's an ongoing challenge, right? That's something that we have to continue to grow, continue to learn, especially at different stages, because kids have different stages. Like Audrey is now... she's going through her preteen stage and we're like praying like help us, looking for help in any way we can, anywhere that we can get it, really. So you know, just so the resource list is something that we did for you guys, and in hopes that it will help you the way it's helped us, the different books, audios, podcasts that we listen
and just
to as well.
Different mentalities, different frames of thought. But yeah, you can go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. It'll pop up and you can enter your email and you'll be able to download it for free.
Yeah, it's super simple.
And this is the first version of the resource list because, you know, things change and, you know, over time, I'm sure there's things that we'll see that we may want to add or replace or whatever. So this is the first version of the resource list.
Yeah, so that's something that we're super excited about.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're working on the merch store. Working on different shirts, some cool stuff that'll be fun to wear.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys have some ideas and maybe if some cool shirts
or a saying that makes you think about this podcast.
Yes, like when you listen to our podcast, what makes you guys think of us? Like what is something maybe we say or maybe how we act, how we interact or how we joke around, whatever. What is something that comes to your mind when someone will mention Opposites Attract podcast?
Yeah. Maybe we can make a shirt. So anyway, you can get a hold of us any way you can. You can find us just by searching Opposites Attract Podcast or at Opposite Pod on any of your social media. Or you can find us directly on our website, oppositesattractpodcast.com. I think we might as well just do it, right? If you're looking for any loan signing notary agency work.
You want to do my commercial?
You can go to trustinkusa.com. We have notaries nationwide. Go for it, babe.
Look at you. You already said it.
Go to trustinkusa.com. If
That's
you
right.
have a hobby or something that you would like to do, you can go to Libsyn. You can use Omo promo code
Hey.
OAP.
Yeah, no more whiskey
No
for
more
you,
liquor for
buddy.
me. Promo code OAP for Opposites Attract podcast, and you'll get the rest of whatever month you sign up in for free, and you'll get next month for free. So right now is a great time to sign up because you got 2/3 of the month left, and you'll get March for free too.
Yeah.
So if you have a hobby, you want to talk about it, use promo code OAP on Libsyn to get your podcast started.
So I want to share a different side of Miguel with you all.
Oh, Jesus.
So the other day we decided that we were going to eat some Chinese food.
Oh, yeah.
So we went out, got some Chinese food,
From Asian Station.
not angry food.
Not angry Chinese. We found a spot close to the house.
And it was pretty good. Anyways,
Yeah.
so we're upstairs chilling, about to watch a movie. Okay. And I got my
Hold up.
fried rice in front of me. What?
We're getting ready to throw down on some
What are we
Chinese
gonna
food, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No,
For sure.
what I have to explain something because it didn't come out of nowhere.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This was earlier in the day. I was hanging out and there was I was cleaning up the kitchen, right?
Okay.
The kids were upstairs doing their thing. It was just me by myself in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So I put on some music. I wasn't feeling like real aggressive. Like I'm not going to listen to so I could have put on 90s or 2000s rap, right?
Okay.
But I was like, I don't know if I want to listen to that right now. I want to listen to something a little bit more upbeat. So I put
I'm growing on him.
90s pop because I wanted to hear some older pop
Right.
songs that we
Right.
grew up listening to, right? So I put 90s pop on and a song comes on.
Mm-hmm. And what song is that?
I don't know the name of the song, but it was really popular, and I'm sure you guys will know what it is. So later on that night, we're hanging out, right? And we're eating the Chinese food.
Yep.
And what did you asked me for something?
I don't know if it was for the soy sauce or what. Like I asked you if you forgot the sauces.
Oh, yeah. You're like, did you forget the sauces?
Yeah.
And a fucking song, a song that came on when I was cleaning the kitchen immediately just crossed through my head. And I'm like, I got a pocket full of duck sauce.
And that is not a song that Miguel would just bust out singing. So I looked at him and I started cracking up so
fuck,
bad.
man.
I nearly fell off the ottoman. And I looked at him and I'm like, did you really just sing that song?
Because I'll just say, I'm like, I got a pocket full of duck sauce.
So there you have it. The other side
fuck,
of Miguel
man?
Ramirez. I'm telling you, man. I'm watching you grow, man.
Dude,
I'm
you know what?
seeing the changes.
You know what? You know what's funny is my best friend Stevens from Like Father Like Daughter podcast.
Uh-huh.
He sent me a picture. I showed it to you earlier in the week of people that are getting into I don't know, people from the city that get into country and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And he sent me a picture of the Air Force Ones because those are typical sneakers
Right.
in the hood, I guess,
Uh-huh.
right? Air Force Ones. But they were high top, super high top to your calf.
Yeah.
The top of it looked like a cowboy boot. So
Yeah.
it was like Air Force One cowboy boots.
Oh,
It's
no.
fucking ridiculous. He's like, you should, I should get a pair of those.
That
right?
would be funny. That would be funny.
Oh, man.
Yes. So I've went back to listen to secular Buddhism.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're going somewhere else. And he was talking about how people handle change and how they deal with change
Yeah.
and disappointments and, just all this stuff, and how a lot of the stuff tends to weigh on that, weigh on those individuals emotionally. That's where depression, anxiety, just why me?
Yeah.
Why is everything going wrong? Why, and it was so simple. He makes it seem so simple, but it's not as simple as it seems. And he was talking about that not all things are permanent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not all things are permanent. We get so caught up.
Nothing is permanent.
Nothing is permanent, and nothing's for sure, but change and death, right? Think about that. Nothing is permanent, And the one thing that you can guarantee in life is change and death. And when I started thinking about that, it brought me back to when you and I were at and I think it was more me going through, this is when I was going through traumas, like healing from certain traumas from my past.
Yeah.
And I had recognized that I had insecurities when it came to you, because I've never loved someone, and this is a Valentine's Day podcast, so I could talk about this, but I never loved someone so deep. Like I was never in love, right, with any of my past relationships. Like I loved them, but I wasn't in love. Like I wasn't attached 100% to where if something happened in those relationships, I would be devastated.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the last podcast with Bill talking about writing the book and the amount of grief that you can feel depending on how much you put into the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have a relationship that you don't put that much into, then the chances of you being hurt or the amount of hurt that you can receive from that relationship is not very high.
Right.
Because you're not invested that much.
Right.
But the more you invest into a relationship, the higher the level of hurt can be.
Yes.
So that can be scary.
Right. And for me, I mean, before, I never wanted to get married and I never wanted to have children.
Yeah.
You know? And so when you came along, like the wall was up for a bit.
Yeah.
But you helped me break that wall down by telling me I'm not going anywhere. Right? Like when we would have
Many
a
times.
problem and I would start talking about divorce, like that's something that it was easy for me. Right? If things started going right, you know, it was just an easy way out. But you would always tell me like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, this is it for me. Like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's how you felt, I feel also helped me, but I still had darker secrets or insecurities, I guess. Insecurities that I didn't know what to do with.
Yeah.
You know, and all of us have those insecurities and all of us have those fears that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or that we're ashamed of or embarrassed of.
Or that you don't even realize affect you.
Right.
There was that song that we mentioned a couple podcasts ago from that guy Hobson. We were talking about Hobson, that song from Hobson and Jelly Roll. We talked about them at the same time. There was a song from Hobson called Your House. And remember, we were watching the video and he was talking about how he was in this really dark place. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to give therapy a shot and talk to somebody. And they were asking him in the video I was watching, they were asking him about his childhood and how he was growing up. And he kind of just brushed it off. Like, oh no, I was good growing up. Like, you know, my childhood was fine. Everything was great. And then the therapist is like, well, tell me a little bit about your childhood. Well, you know, I would see my dad and my mom argue.
Right.
And then it would escalate. Like, you know, things would happen. And he had no idea that the things that he saw as a kid
were affecting him as an adult.
Like he was like, I'm good. Like I'm strong mentally. I know what's going on.
Right. But most people feel that way as well.
Yeah.
But I just didn't recognize it. Like I didn't recognize it. Like I just thought I was tough and thought, you know, I didn't see it. I didn't know. Yeah. And so I started to, during that time, you started traveling for work as well. And I started to feel these insecurities become even stronger.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like that's not me. Like I'm not a jealous individual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like but I had these deep insecurities that no one knew about. Because if you know me, you would have never thought that I had any of these insecurities. And so it was, and at that time I was very religious. So I would pray a lot to God. I would pray a lot. And I remember just letting go and knowing that what I'm feeling is not something that I'm supposed to be feeling. Like, you've never given me a reason to feel insecure. You never given me any kind of reason. So then it had to be me.
Yeah.
You know? And then there was this point where I felt like I was getting, the more religious I got, the further I was getting away from you. Do you remember that time? Yeah. And it was having a conversation with God and just letting go. Like letting go and saying, you know, I know, like, for some reason, I just felt it. Like, maybe it was God telling me that nothing's ever permanent, but to love him while you have him. Like, love him now. Love him and appreciate him now.
Yeah.
Because you never know what tomorrow brings. No, but it's that sense of relief. And not only that, but I thought you were going to hell back then.
What the
No, because you didn't believe. So I was very fearful of you going to hell.
Yeah.
So I made this covenant with God, and I told God, I said, listen, because you always hear that in order for people to start to believe in God, something drastic has to happen, right? Yeah. Something drastic has to happen. And that was a fear in my heart.
Well, it's both. It's either something drastic happens and they're going to get closer, or something drastic happens and they get completely away.
Right. So then I just made this covenant with God, and I said, listen, if you have to, I asked God, like, to keep the kids safe. Like, just, if you have to use me, use me. You know, like, if you have to, if something happens to happen to me to bring him closer to you, to save him, like,
then let it happen to me.
Yes. And when I was having this conversation with God, I was 100% in it. Like, it wasn't just trying to make myself feel good. It was 100% real. Like, I meant what I said. And I said, I meant every word of it.
Yeah.
And that day I realized nothing's permanent. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, nothing's permanent. Like, you can get on an airplane and something happen. You can be walking down the street. The same thing with me. The same thing with the kids. Like,
with anybody.
Nothing is permanent. So that's why it's so important to live in the now.
Yeah.
To be where you are now and to appreciate what you have and not having that scarcity of what if. Yeah, we have a house, we have a business, we have a beautiful life, but who's to say that that's still going to be here tomorrow? So enjoy and do the best that you can right now. So when I was listening to that podcast, and he was talking about Buddhism, and not and knowing that not everything's permanent, I relate it to that moment when I had that conversation with God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's crazy to realize that during that time I was having such a rough time, and then today I have a free heart. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, I'm good. Like, I'm better than good.
Yeah. There's been a lot of changes quickly in the last few years.
It feels that way. But that's why I'm saying, like, we are where we are now, but I'm so excited for where we are going.
You know what? That also reminds me, I mean, maybe it's good to mention it on the Valentines episode, but that one time where we both kind of had that realization of how our past affects our present, and
that was huge for us.
How we think today and all that, because we were in the bedroom.
Yeah.
We were in the bedroom. I mean, I could see it. We were on opposite sides of the bed.
Yeah.
I was on one side, you were on the other, and we were just kind of talking.
We were getting into a disagreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was exactly about what you were talking about me going out of town and going for work. Yep. And it was one of those things where you realized your insecurities about me going out of town from your past. Like, oh, he's going out of town and he's doing whatever the fuck he wants. He's having a great time with his fucking buddies at the bar. He's drinking. Who knows what the fuck he's doing, because I'm not there. And he could be doing whatever right now, right?
Yep.
And then I'm thinking to myself, because of my past, and like I saw that in my past. I was usually taking care of my kids, my brothers and sisters. And, I was usually alone with them, taking care of them. Yeah. And all I ever wanted was a family, and I wanted to be home. Like, when the travel would come up, like, yes, I'll go on travel for my job, but it's not like I want to go out of town. I want to be home with my family. That's what I've always wanted. So for me, it was super frustrating when you would come at me like, dude, you're out having a blast with your buddy out there and you're having a good time going to the bars. And all I want is to be home. And then I think that one day, like I was like, you're telling me like you're fucking doing whatever. And I'm like, look, this is all I ever want. And then we kind of both at the same time realize we're like, dude, we're fucked. We're fucked from way back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why you felt the way you felt. And I felt like I would get angry when you would come at me like that because I'm like, don't you fucking get it? This is all I want. I don't want to be fucking out here. Like, first of all, I don't want to be fucking around. And second of all, I don't even want to be here. Like, if I could be anywhere, I would be with you and the kids hanging out, like, together. That is my number one.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel that the reason why this worked out for us is because we do communicate. We do talk to each other. And at the beginning, we communicated the wrong way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We spoke at each other. We didn't listen. We would get frustrated, upset, you know, and it took us some time to recognize that the way we were communicating wasn't the right way. Yeah. It took us reading the 5 love languages to understand each other and to know that the way we feel love is different. Like the way you want to be loved is different than the way I want to be loved. But most people don't take the time to try to understand their significant other.
Yeah.
Because they're so worried about themselves.
It's that the commitment of getting better, the personal growth, you know, like I wouldn't have seen it in you. You wouldn't have seen it in me if we weren't trying to learn more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to figure each other out.
Yeah. And, you know, Miguel and I are a part of this group. It's called the 5 love languages. And there's other groups like relationship groups as well that we're a part of. And we go in and we, you know, take a listen. Sometimes we'll answer questions. Yeah. Or we will post some of our videos that we feel will help others. But I think too, it's also important to have those mentors in your life, like people that have good relationships, that have been married for a long time. Yeah. You know, and they say that you are your association. So if you are, and I feel this, like if you are hanging out with a bunch of single guys, I mean.
Or if you're listening to your girlfriends that's always got fucked up relationships. Oh,
yeah.
I know that's a fucking
something
thing.
I went through, but because
girl, you've been fucking, you cheated on him, you've been cheated on, your shit's a fucking mess. Why the fuck would you listen to them?
Yeah. Or, you know, too, it's like a lot of my friends were guys, right? And I know what they talk about. I know how they think. I know. And for me, I look at you like you're one. This is back then. You are one of them. And if, you know, I'm seeing what they're doing and some of them were married, I'm like, it gives me that doubt in you. So I had to disconnect and let go because I was taking in what was happening over there and putting that on you.
Exactly. And that came from maybe a previous relationship or things that you've seen in the past. And that's something that it's not fair for the person that you're with to
the new person to take on. Yeah.
Because I've had a previous relationship where it was a similar thing. It's just the upbringing and everything was just, you know, they didn't trust anybody. And that was a major part of ruining the entire relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just like, hey, I'm not doing anything, but it's just their upbringing, their past just kept putting it out there and putting it out there and they didn't even realize it.
Right.
You know?
And sometimes you don't.
No.
You know, like if you are not present, if you are not awake, if you are caught up.
And you know what? One thing that I do remember in the beginning of our relationship, because I had gotten out of another relationship, and one of the things was just kind of like, you know what? I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't see it lasting very long, so I'm just going to kind of deal with it. But at the end of the relationship, I was like, I am never going to put up with just anybody's shit. And then when we started our relationship, I remember in the beginning, I felt like I was a little bit short, or if something would come up, like I would maybe be quicker to say something. But then I kind of realized like that has nothing to do with you. That had nothing to do with you. That was from my past. Mm-hmm. So why would I treat you because of the way somebody else treated me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I don't get like when I meet people and they're like, yeah, I've been married, never doing that again.
Well, you can't base it on that.
Right. Or I've been in a relationship, not doing that again. Like you will miss out on the love of your life. There's a possible love of your life if that's what you're basing it on.
That also reminds me of, I've said it on here before, I mean, over all these episodes, but I remember, like, not specifically, but I've heard it different times over my career. Because I'm a mechanic, or I was a mechanic, and, it was mostly guys hanging out, talking, or whatever, and you would always get that one guy that's engaged, or he's getting married, or whatever. And you'll have some guys that are like, oh, you fucking sure you want to do this, buddy? Fuck, man. It's not like a fucking country song and shit. You know what I mean? But people are like, oh, man, it's not too late or whatever. And I would always kind of like separately, when it's just me and them, I'll be like, hey, man, don't listen to any of these fucks. Like, look at them. They're miserable as fuck. Don't listen to anything they fucking tell you. They're fucking idiots.
I remember you telling me coming home, and you would tell me that because you would say that you didn't feel like you were happy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, if she makes you happy, if you guys are happy together, don't listen to any of these fucking idiots. Just be happy together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the fucking ball and chain like, oh my God, I gotta fucking... Well, if it is, fucking sucks for you, buddy. Figure it out. Read the 5 love languages. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not all bad.
Yeah. Before we started this podcast, like I just had a very, and I don't think you noticed because I was washing my face and I was putting moisturizer on. So you thought maybe my face was red from that, but it wasn't. It was just, I was overwhelmed with gratitude and just being in the moment and seeing where we are, that I was like in tears. I was very emotional, but just looking back of where we came from and all the things that we've gone through together, and to today where we are like in love, our relationship is stronger than ever, and we are at such a good place.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but think, like I felt at that time that I had, like I've been feeling a lot of my sister around me.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy, I've been feeling a lot of my grandfather.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard you really talk about your grandfather.
I know. Like I was little when he passed, and remember in the kitchen that time when I took a bite of a grape?
Yeah. That was recent. That was a few like last month or something.
Like it was weird because I have never really thought about him because I was maybe close to 9 when he passed, but I had a very like a strong feeling of him that day. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And today, like I've been feeling a lot of my sister, but today I felt him. And it's the more I look into spirituality, it's like the more, I don't know, I feel like I'm opening, the more I'm becoming more aware, I guess.
Yeah.
Of, I don't know what you want to call it, but
yeah,
I feel like they're guiding us or guiding me.
Yeah.
Well, Diane knew you, but my grandfather didn't.
Yeah.
Your grandmother is guiding you.
Yeah.
I
guess.
But I feel that, I feel that way.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I've never really heard you talk about your grandfather too much or at all really until you brought that up a month ago.
Yeah. Strange, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to my mom because after that feeling, I started asking her about him, and she told me, she's like, you were very close to him.
Yeah.
He was very close to you. She's like, I remember one day he yelled at you and you were not used to getting scolded by him and you would not stop crying. You cried
Really?
the entire day because you were so hurt. You know?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know how these things are connected or
Yeah.
whatever, but we'll figure it out.
Yep. So,
One
as
day.
some of you guys can see, I went from blonde to, I don't know what color you want to call this.
That looks good. I've never seen you with your hair that color.
I've never seen
You've
myself
always
with this
had-
color either. No. I can't
Neither
remember
has
the
anybody
last
else.
time.
Yeah.
Like everybody, like I put a Facebook post on. Everybody loved it, but people have not seen me dark. Jeez, and high school I think
It looks
was the last. And by the way, I didn't tell Miguel anything about nothing. I didn't tell the kids. I was doing anything.
You told me something's going down.
Yeah.
You're like, something's happening. It's going to be different. And I'm like,
I'm going to go get my hair done. It's, just
I was like, are they going to use clippers or are they going to fucking shave the side or like, are they going to put a design in it? Like,
You
I don't know.
think I'm not
I
that
don't
big
know.
of a recip, especially when it comes to my hair, but my hair was like above my butt. Now it's above my bra line,
For a second there, I was like, what color is it going to come back? Could it be purple? Could it be red or blue maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
You recognize me. That's all that mattered.
Yeah. But you, so we were talking about so it was your birthday last week.
Mm-hmm.
And so for your birthday, I went and picked you up a purse,
You're so sweet.
which is not, if you guys have listened to our podcast, it's not my thing to go fucking purse shopping. Right.
right.
So I show up to Dillard's and I hit up our niece and I'm like, hey, I need some help. I was like, I know that I want to get a purse.
yeah.
I just don't know what kind of purse I need to get.
Yeah.
So I know the other one is like a square. It's like 12-inch square. Like this is the way a fucking guy would look at a fucking, at least for me anyway. Like I look at the purse and I look at the dimensions. I'm like, all right, it's fucking 12 by 12. It doesn't have the handles. It's got the fucking strap. So obviously she likes the strap. 12 by 12. That's what I need to look for. Something like this. It's got this many pockets. I'm going to look for something like that. So I'm looking around and I'm looking in the completely wrong section, I guess, for what's cool. Because when I hit up my niece, I'm like, I'm over here. She's like, nah, don't go over there. Go over here.
Where were you?
I think I was in Coach.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what you had now.
Yeah. That's
so
the
I was
purse
over
your
at
mom bought
Coach
me.
and and she's like, no, these are more in style now. I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's go over there. So I go over there, pick out a purse, and it's a really nice purse, not cheap.
Do you remember the name?
Michael Kors.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're not. I can tell you one thing: they're not giving these purses away.
Yeah. No.
You gotta drop some money on it. But this is the thing: is that you've had your purse for so long.
Right.
You do bust your ass. You work hard. And you do deserve to have nice things, And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get you a nice purse and whatever. I don't give a fuck what it costs. I'll just pick it up.
Right.
So I pick it up and I bring it home, and I'm excited. I go to get you. Your birthday comes up, and I'm like, here's your gift. They give you the purse, and you're like, yeah, it's you love
this
it.
is what
You liked
happens.
it.
He pulls out this Dillard's bag, and I look at him. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be interesting because I thought that maybe he bought me some lingerie or some clothes, and I just can't picture you buying me clothes or lingerie.
Well, this is the thing: is that you got this purse, this Coach bag that you've had for a few
Right.
years now.
But what I'm saying, I didn't even think that
And-
it was a purse.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you didn't think it was that I would buy you a purse.
Right. Right.
But you've had this Dillard's purse for I don't know how long, and after the years, now it's looking a little beat up.
Oh yeah, it's beat up.
If you walk by the right person, you're gonna end up with like a half a sandwich and some change in your purse or some shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, she needs a new purse. So
Yeah.
I buy this purse, I bring it home, and it was nice.
It was a very, very nice purse. But the thing of it, okay, ladies, I know you're going to be like, what the hell? Did you really do that? I saw the price on it. And even if I didn't see the price, I know what these purses cost. And I am not a purse person. Like, I will not pay the respect that this person needs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will not give this purse the respect that it
will
deserves.
be on the floor. I will leave it everywhere.
You'd be
It will be
You be fucking
beat
kicking
up.
it out of the way. Like, get the
Right.
fuck out.
It's going to be beat up, mangled. Like, I know me, and I'm a rough chick.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just a rough chick. With my shoes, I like nice shoes, but I will wear my shoes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll wear them out. So I see this purse, and it's a beautiful purse, but like I said, I just know me. So I decided that I was going to take it back and see if I could find something smaller, because it wasn't that big, but I just don't like carrying purses, period. You know, those of you that know me, if you see me, you know, I'm very minimum. I'm not carrying anything with me. I'll put my, you know, cards in between my boobs or
something that fits you. Yeah, you don't like carrying a lot of stuff.
So we went to Dillard's to change it.
Yeah, my thought was like, look, if she doesn't like this purse, worst comes to worst, we come back and you can pick out a purse that you like. Because I know you. It's not like, oh my God, he didn't get me the purse that I liked. It's like, okay, we'll just go back and you'll get the one that you liked. And I did get you a purse and we're good. We're happy, right? Mm-hmm. So we go back to Dillard's and we return the purse. Uh-huh. And we're looking around all the purses in Dillard's. And I mean, they got hundreds of purses in there, and we're picking them up. Like, oh yeah, this one doesn't have enough pockets. This one, I don't like the strap. This one, whatever. There's different things. So like, let's go to other stores and check them out.
Right.
So we end up at fucking TJ Maxx.
My choice, by the way.
We go from Dillard's and like a $400 purse.
No, that was more than that.
To now, to now, Sonja's at TJ Maxx. Looking at a $13 purse.
It had everything I needed. It had all the pockets.
Yeah, no, that's not the way I saw it. So we walk into,
so funny.
So we're walking through, and at this point, like, I kind of know what she's looking at. So I'm looking at purses too, and I'm like, hey, what about this one? You're like, nah, that one sucks. And all right, and I go off looking for another one. How about this one? Ah, that one's nice. Let me see it. So I know what you're looking at. So you're down one aisle looking at shit, and I'm down the other aisle looking at shit, and I come around to the other aisle to see what you're up to. And you have this little wallet purse type thing. And it's got fucking threads coming out of the seams.
It did not.
It had threads coming out of the seams.
I did see that.
Which is the reason probably why it was at TJ Maxx. Because it had like everywhere where there was like two pieces of fabric that came together, there was fucking threads coming out of it. It looked like a spider's web with a purse in the middle.
No, it didn't.
It was fucked up.
No,
that's why it was there. And I'm like, how the fuck? I was like, oh man. Like, I started thinking to myself.
He puts his, go ahead.
I was like, poor girl. I was like, you have beat her down to the point where she cannot even enjoy a nice purse anymore. She fucking returned the nice purse that you bought her, and now she's at TJ Maxx looking at this fucked up $13 purse.
You've gone too.
I'm like, you've gone too far.
Oh my
God. I was
God.
like, and then I started thinking, I was like, this is kind of like boot camp. Like where they break you down. Like, obviously I've done a good job breaking Sonja down. I was like, now I have to build her back up.
Oh
you know what I mean?
So he comes, and while he's thinking all that stuff to himself, he comes up to me and he puts his hand on my lower back.
I'm like, oh, come here.
He's like, I broke you down. I've
gone too far.
You seem like you were really feeling that way, though. You know, come on, let's take you to Macy's.
Come here, baby. You deserve the best of the best.
So
not this shit.
So we go to Macy's. He's like, run wild.
Go for it.
Go wild.
Anything you want. Just go grab it.
And just so you all know, I came out with nothing.
Nothing. Like, we still haven't fucking picked out a purse. So after this podcast, we're going to go fucking shopping some more. See if we can find something.
And that's just a part of growth. Like,
it's funny, man.
I'm not going to spend that much on a purse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have other things that we're doing right now and other goals and places where we're going. And, you know, people that they look at our vehicles and they're like, not that they're bad. I mean, I have a Toyota Camry. What year is it?
2014?
2014, whatever, you know, and Miguel has a Highlander 2007. They both run, they work great, but people are like, why are you guys... But we got money in the bank,
so who cares?
Yeah, like, why are you guys, you know, why don't you get a nicer car? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is paid off.
Why don't you get a nicer bank account?
Like, this feels free to me.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know.
I was like, I don't need a nicer car. I'd rather have a nicer bank account.
Right, and if, you know, if we just end up blowing up and end up having all this money, maybe. And I still don't think I'd want an expensive purse.
Well, it would take a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's just, we don't see the value in putting it into a car. Or like you said, like a purse that you're going to kick around and, you know what I mean?
other things that we can do, to make a difference.
Yep.
Versus spending that much on a purse or even on a car.
This is the thing. The truth is that if you have the money to spend on a purse like that, or if you have the money to spend on a car like that.
Because you have to spend it because,
no, if you have it because you're set up, like you're set in life and you're at a point where dropping this money on a purse doesn't matter, or dropping this money on a car doesn't matter, whether I have to make the car payment or I'm going to pay the car cash or whatever the situation is, I got it covered 100%.
Right.
Then go for it. Then great. Right. But if you don't have, but in order to get to that place, you got to have other things set up. Like your retirement should be set up.
Right. Investments,
all your other priorities need to be set up before you're like, fuck it, I can drop the money on something that's not going to really bring me value.
Right. Yeah. And that purse listen, if the purse made me happy, I would have bought the purse, but the purse doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's just the way I am. Even with this ring that I bought, like this, I dropped some cash on this ring, but I walked away from it. And at that time, like I was doing well, you know, and I felt like I deserved this. Like I worked so hard to get where I was at. And this was before you, I worked so hard to get to where I am today, but I walked away from it. And I'm like, you know what? If I can't get over that ring,
then you'll go back.
Then I'm going to go back.
That's it. You know what? That is actually a very good tip for anytime that you're going to make a big financial decision. When you're going to purchase something, whether it's a car or whatever, get super excited about it and walk away from it and sleep on it. And if it's still, because that's
what I did with you when I met you.
Really? You slept on it? You slept.
You're stupid.
You slept with him on it? But no, when you are, because the thing is that like a lot of times they want to pressure you like, oh, if you don't do it now, then you can't get the deal.
Right. Mm-mm.
I don't believe any of that shit. Yeah. Like if you have the fucking big ass weekend deal or whatever the fuck, and I show up the next day, what is different between Sunday when you had your deal and Monday when I showed up?
Yeah.
What has changed really? Oh, all of a sudden now you don't have the deal?
Right.
Well, do you want to make the sale or do you not want to make the sale? Because that's what they're doing. They're trying. It's called the fear of loss sale tactic.
Right.
And they can make that deal happen the next day.
Right.
Just fucking sleep on it. Make sure that it's right for you and then do it.
Audrey, the other day we were talking and she's been, just a little bit off lately.
Yeah.
And so we started talking and she was telling me that, she was just feeling a bit sad. And she's like, you know what I noticed? I'm like, what? Shopping makes me happy.
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh no.
So I had, of course, that opened up a deep conversation with me because it's like,
what is it about shopping?
There's people out there that will spend and spend and spend and shop until they drop and have no money in the bank, trying to make themselves happy. And even when they have it, they're not happy because that's not where happiness and joy comes from. It's from within.
Yeah.
So I had to have that conversation with her, and that's just not a one-time conversation. That's a conversation that I'm going to have to continue to have with her until she can figure out how she can find her joy within. Without shopping. Or because think about it. I mean, that's just for one. That's her, but there are other people that sometimes, sex is one of them. Sometimes it's a drug. Sometimes it's, so it's finding that happy place within that you can turn to when you're feeling bad, knowing how to redirect and get you back on the right path. It's not, and I told her, it's not avoiding, your sadness. It's, you don't want to avoid it. You want to feel it. And that's the thing. She doesn't like to feel it. I'm like, you have to allow yourself to feel it. Feel it, but don't get stuck in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let it go. But you need something. You need an outlet. You need to figure out what that outlet is, whether it's meditating, through prayer, whatever it is, so that you don't depend on that. Because I told her, I'm like, if you depend on shopping to bring you happiness, you're going to be broke.
You know what? That kind of reminds me of like food. When you when you want to eat something, like, you're not supposed to be eating something that's bad for you. Like you're trying to keep it together.
Right.
You're trying to do well. And you get this moment of like, I want it.
Yes.
I want it, and you eat it.
Yep.
And it
then
makes you feel good while you're eating
it.
Until right after you eat it.
Right.
And then that feeling goes away, and
that
you're
shame.
like,
It's shame.
it's like, I
shouldn't have
up.
did that. Exactly.
You know, and the
Yes.
shopping will give you that moment of happiness or whatever. But shortly after that,
till you get that credit card bill.
Yeah, you realize that thing or whatever it was that you bought isn't going to make you happy.
No, it's temporary.
It's very temporary.
Yes. And I think, and you know what, like, even though like yesterday, the day before, like I haven't been on keto, I haven't been getting that feeling, which keeps me in control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like last night, what do we have? It was something sweet. There was was it an ice cream we shared? I mean, I had a pear.
Yeah.
We didn't have ice
Yeah,
cream.
you had a pear.
I had a pear. Well, that's not bad. The day before, we shared an ice cream.
Yeah, we shared some ice creams.
But I didn't feel any guilt. Oh, yesterday I had spaghetti.
Yeah.
That was a huge carb for me. But I didn't feel any guilt because I guess I was already at a good place. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling good. So eating this, I knew that I was in control. And the reason why I was eating this was because I was allowing myself to eat it, not because like I felt like I had to have it.
Yeah.
And I was able to control myself. It's being in control of it and knowing that I'm in control.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what it was is we've been on it for a little while and you felt like you earned it. Like it wasn't like we were on it for a day and now I'm having spaghetti. No, we were on it for a little while. We've been doing good for a little bit. And okay, now we're going to cheat one time or a couple times and then we'll be back on it again and we'll make some more progress and then we'll, but you felt like, because if it's like, well, I'm going to start a diet and tonight I'm having spaghetti.
Yeah.
Well, then you don't feel good about that because you know you're already messing up.
Yeah. But for me it was just knowing that I'm in control. Like I'm in control and this is okay because, I know that when, Monday comes and you took some time off, so we've been spending some time together.
Yeah.
So going out to eat or just, being with you and enjoying the time and the food is great, but knowing that, Monday or whenever I decide I'm back on it. Yeah. And it's not going to be a challenge for me. Like it's not giving me that, you know how they say that food gives you that sense of, what is it? Endorphins or something?
Euphoric.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Euphoric. Yeah. That, like I'm not getting that from it almost. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but just knowing that I'm in control doesn't make me feel bad because I'm allowing myself to do it. And when I did it, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh, I missed this.
It's like a controlled slip up.
I think that's
like, you know you're doing
and
it.
And I'm allowing myself to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. So no matter what, if you, and it may be, you have a drinking problem or whatever it may be, you have control of the situation. You can get control of the situation and get control of your life back
and if
when
you
decide, when you make a decision. And for those that can't, there's always help out there.
Exactly.
There's always help out there.
That's right.
And we are all for therapy.
Definitely. So before we get out of here.
Already?
Yeah, it's already been almost time. But earlier in the podcast, I started out by starting my country career, right?
Yeah.
I started my country singing career, and it was fun. And at this point, I would like to end my country career with my second single.
Aww. Your second single?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Been flying solo for so long.
Oh my God.
Nobody singing the harmonies.
Really?
Up there, just me and my shadow. No bass, no guitar, no tambourine. And I found you like a melody. You were singing in the same key as me. We had them dancing in the streets. I don't want to be a one-man band. I don't want to be a Rolling Stone.
You've had too much time on your hands.
On a rundown Highlander. Baby, we could
a rundown
show
Highlander.
on the road. I lay down the beat. You carry the tune. We'll get tattoos and we'll trash hotel rooms. Baby, take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be a one-man band. Hey Jasper, see my natty like my dip? No? I can. I wanna run down your wild dreams, and I wanna chase every high with you. Count every rip in these old jeans. We'll never learn how to sing the blues. If I'm gonna be famous, then I wanna be
That was
famous
funny.
with you. We've got our own little groove. I don't wanna be a one-man band. I don't wanna be a Rolling Stone alone.
You know
Put
what's so
miles
crazy?
on a rundown Highlander.
People
Baby, we
won't
can
see
take
your
our own
personality
show
unless they
on
really
the
know
road.
you.
Yeah.
Lay down
You know?
the beat.
You guys know I mess around.
Yeah, but people that don't know you, they think you're like stuck up. Like you're
Whatever.
very...
'Cause I don't wanna be a one-man band.
Duh.
Hey, what time's the race start? Alright. When the spotlight goes cold and the curtains come down, the chairs are all stacked and there's no one around and nobody's paying, we'll still be playing. I don't wanna be a one-man band. I don't wanna be a Rolling Stone alone. Put miles on a rundown Highlander. Baby, we
That's
could take
funny.
our own show on the road. I'll lay down the beat, you carry the tune. We'll get tattoos and we'll trash hotel rooms. Baby, take my hand, 'cause I don't wanna be a one-man band.
That's hilarious.
'Cause
You're
I don't
funny.
wanna be a one-man band.
What, you think I was gonna leave it with a straight up country song?
And that's what he used to do when I would play my country, and he would make fun of my songs, and I would get all pissed and upset. And
That's
now
exactly what I would do.
He actually loves country.
So now I'm thinking maybe we could put these songs available for download on our website. If you go to our website and you enter your email, we'll have these available also for download.
That's hilarious.
So,
Good job.
Thank you, babe. Thank you guys for being
Happy
with us.
Valentines, everybody. We love you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for sharing.
Stay tuned. We got some big things coming.
Yes, yes, yes. And until next time,
Bye.
bye.